The Lurker. I am older now, but this happened when I was 9. I'm a girl who loves sneaky adventures. I'd like to be up in the middle of the night when everyone else is sleeping. My favorite thing to do is walk around the neighborhood. Our neighborhood is a quiet and relatively crime-free suburban area. Sometimes I'll meet with my friends, but I usually go out alone. This particular night, I asked my parents if my younger sister and I could sleep outside on the back porch. This was really no big deal, and they agreed. It was dark, so I turned on the porch light as I brought out the sleeping bags for my sister and I. There were only 6 houses that could see our back porch, so I really had no worries. Of the 6 houses, there was one house, though, that bothered me. It was one of the houses closest to ours, the Smiths. In the Smiths' house lived a man in his 30s named Danny. Danny lived there with his mother. Danny had some mental problems. I don't know what they were, but the adults had a much better idea than us kids. He was known by all to take rides around the neighborhood on his moped. Occasionally, we saw him riding, and it fired our imagination. We taunted each other about him, saying silly things like,
"Danny Smith, Oompa Loompa, Danny Smith is following you. Danny Smith will get you. Danny Smith, boo!"
You know how kids are. I finished setting up our sleeping area by putting large blankets and towels over the porch railings so that no one could actually see us there. It was almost time for us to settle down, as my dad would say. My sister and I put together a snack for us to munch on for our chat in the privacy of our porch. I turned out the light, and we got inside our sleeping bags. We were giggling with excitement. I started the night by making up a ghost story, which my sister always liked, even though I could get her so scared that she would crawl all the way inside her sleeping bag and squeal. I was somewhere in the middle of my story when I heard some crackling and crunching sound, like someone stepping on dry twigs in the autumn leaves. I stopped. "What was that?" I whispered to my sister. She looked at me confused and said that I was trying to scare her. "No, sis, I heard something." Although I was somewhat concerned, I continued with my story. Maybe it was because I was distracted from the sounds that I heard before, but my story was starting to bore me, and I paused. I hesitated just long enough to hear soft footsteps in the grass. Footsteps in the grass of our yard. My heart started to pound. It could be a cat or a dog, maybe? No, the footsteps had weight to them. It could be one of my neighbors from the house next door. This made more sense. I waited to hear the greeting from a friend. Waiting for it. None. By now, our eyes had adjusted to the dark, and I touched my sister's shoulder and looked her straight in the eyes, put my index finger to my lips. Shh. It was then that I heard a thump directly behind and beside me, just inches away. I looked behind me, and a hand had lifted up one of the towels I had placed over the railing. By someone's hand, the towel had been lifted about 12 inches, revealing the face of this lurker. Greasy hair, dorky thick lens glasses, and a stringy sparse beard framing his thin lips that revealed his yellowed, crooked teeth, and he was drooling. This person was none other than Danny Smith, My eyes popped wide open as I quickly took a breath and screamed. The scream shocked him, and he let go of the towel. Not did I scream just once, I repeated it, and directly at him to scare him. I was in big sister mode, ready to protect as best as I could. By the second scream, he was terrified of the attention and ran out of our backyard. At this point, my dad came out and had a look on his face that I hadn't seen before. My dad was ready for a battle, I think, and demanded to know why I was screaming like that. When I told him, his chest puffed up and he took my sister and I inside. My dad, strong and protective of his two girls. Being 9, I never heard what happened as a result of this incident. Kids don't always get told of things that end in legal matters and such. What I did find out was, many years after, Danny Smith was riding his moped far outside of the neighborhood, and he was struck and killed by a car. A sad way to die, I suppose, but bad things happen to some people. Hi, WhispersDeep here. This is my story I decided to submit. While waiting for you guys to send me something, I hope. I didn't want a big blank spot on my channel. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this. And please like and subscribe and comment and share, whatever you'd like to do. Let me know what you think of this. Thanks a lot. See you soon.